Blackstone Audio presents Sherman by Stephen E. Woodworth. For Nathan, Jonathan, David, Daniel, Anna, Elizabeth, and Mary, to God alone by the glory. Foreword. In the Old South, his name still evokes a curse, dislike, and even a little fear. In the Army, he is known as Grant's most loyal and effective lieutenant, and in most of America, mention his name and you may get a quizzical response. Someone from the Civil War? Oh yes, General William Tecumseh Sherman was indeed someone from the Civil War. He was the second most famous of the Union generals, and a man who used his skill and insight not only to blaze a trail of destruction across the American South, but also to create a new form of maneuver, a strategy of the indirect. Innovation in war is usually accidental, a combination of necessity, insight, and something different in the circumstances, technology, terrain, or enemy organization, in which war is conducted. Confronting a stubborn enemy, lacking an overwhelming superiority in numbers, failing time and again in direct assault, Union Army General William Cump Sherman became just such an innovator. The emergence of this stratagem is at the heart of Stephen Woodworth's fast-paced biography. Sherman's childhood was marked by the early misfortune of losing his father and being taken in by a well-to-do family. In fact, Sherman was raised in a relatively prosperous Midwestern home with considerable opportunities. He selected the Army, chose to go to West Point, and through political connections received his appointment. Sherman was a good student and passable cadet, and in 1840 he was commissioned into the artillery branch. But in the Army, as in life, luck plays a major role, and Cump Sherman had none of it early on. While he proved an able junior officer, he missed the crucible of the Mexican War, seemingly consigned to insignificant postings in Florida, California, Missouri, and Louisiana, and with his wife troubled by the Army's frugal lifestyle. He left the service in 1851 to try his hand in business. But the 1850s were a time of considerable financial turmoil, and despite Sherman's considerable personal talents as a banker, his bank foundered. He ended up heading a military school in Louisiana, only to resign with the rise of secessionist activities in Louisiana. As war approached, Sherman offered his services and was appointed a colonel of infantry, commanding first a regiment, then a brigade. And now he was at last in the thick of the fight. Sherman learned command in war the only way it can be learned, by experience. His brigade fought at the First Battle of Bull Run. Promoted to brigadier general in the expanding Union Army, he was chosen to serve in Kentucky, and after a few weeks assumed command of Union forces there. And here...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?